There are other counties that are larger, with bigger budgets, that have managers and pay managers exorbitant salaries. But nowhere does the manager have the opportunity to have the input or make the difference that the manager does here in Luzerne County at this time. This is a job that once I realized it was available, once I was recruited to apply for this position, I felt that there was no other place that I wanted to be. There was no other place that would test my abilities or allow me to contribute to the community or to the public management profession than here. And I will tell you, I have not been disappointed in any way by any of the folks I've worked with or met. This has been a tremendous experience, and every day the decision that I feel I made in accepting this position has been proven more and more correct. So really, I'm glad to be here, and I think this is, it's not just the World Series, but right now this is the best job in public administration in the United States. With respect to the transition, we've moved away from the past, and some of the things, although Jim's gone through them, that I think have the greatest salience for your county manager is the move to an 11-member part-time council from the 3-member full-time commissioners. The move from 8 row officers to 2, essentially taking all of the wills, deeds, clerk of courts, and collapsing them. The initiative and referendum provision, which is little remarked upon, but lays in there and could certainly be a useful corrective if government starts to trip over its own feet. The larger council provides more opportunities for the average resident to serve. It reduces the cost of seeking office to a point where it is within reach of somebody who wants to serve for no other reason than to be part of the public discussion. The nighttime meetings for the council provide greater public opportunities for input. I've worked in jurisdictions that have had daytime and nighttime meetings, and I will tell you that the nighttime meetings are invariably more robust and more participatory, and I think in a representative democracy serve us well. We're in a position now, I think in my 10th week, probably 75th day of employment here, we're still making the tools that we need to build the structure we want. I think we've found, both publicly and internally, a lot of ambiguity. And that ambiguity isn't a result of the charter itself, but the fact that this government is unique in the state of Pennsylvania. State statutes did not anticipate the creation of a government such as this. The language in many areas, which was once settled law, has now become a matter of interpretation, and we work through that. And sometimes that makes things move a little bit more slowly than we'd like, but we're busy getting it right. We're going to have codes in place. We'll be developing manuals once the codes are established. But probably the most important thing in the county now is financial control. And I'll give you an example of how, I won't say out of control things have been, but the lack of attention. And even Mr. Haggerty mentioned, well, we have a $122 million budget. I wish that were true. We have a $273 million budget, and here's why. Because the county has never presented a unified budget. Expenses of county agencies that don't involve general fund dollars, that involve money from state, federal governments, grants, what have you, have not been appropriated by the county council, and before them, the county board of commissioners. There's more than half of our budget is essentially off budget. When I've asked, well, I've gotten a notice, well, we want you to approve this contract. And say, well, where's the money for it? Well, we'll move some money from point A to point B after the contract is signed. And so, well, where's your request to do that? Well, it's federal money. Okay, well, where's your request to amend the budget in order to do that? And so there's been a little bit of surprise that anybody was asking about what wasn't general fund money. I think it's important for the county and for administration to have a degree of accountability for every dollar we spend, because at the end of the day, it's the county's responsibility. However those funds are raised, they're all taxpayer dollars, whatever the source.